Hey there guys, how's it going? What are we doing here? Oh right. I need to... Where is this? It's a Blu-ray video. I need to grab the Blu-rays because I want to get that out of the way so I can like put them away. And also I should say FYI, I fully intended, for those that are on edge, like when is he going to do a fucking collection video? First off, it's hard to do, especially when you have a big collection. It takes a lot out of you to do a video. Secondly, you know, I've been living at college. I don't have my shelf with me anymore. And I did go home. I visited home and I brought all my movies with me. Absolutely all of them. Fully intended to do a collection video, but I forgot my battery charger for my camera and I was like, well, shit, I guess that's not happening. So next time I go home, I don't know when that is. Christmas? For Christmas, I'll film it. That's a Christmas video. It's like, you've waited 3 years, here's a video. It's just me holding up movies that I own. Like, I don't know why people care necessarily. I don't care. Like, I'll be honest, I don't give a shit about filming them. Obviously, I haven't done it for 2 years. I'm not missing doing it, but I guess people care. Give the fans what they want. Even if it seems like pointless. Like, who gives a shit really what movies I own? I guess it's just a chance for me to like show all the money I've wasted on discs and then maybe say something witty about the movie, but I don't know. So it's a promise. When I do get a chance, when I do go home, whenever that is next time, I'll bring all my movies and I will film that video. I'll double check. Like, I brought the softbox light, I brought the tripod, everything else. I just forgot the battery charger. Because the thing is, like, even like on this camera, it only films for so long. And then it like runs out of space, so I don't even know if I could have filmed the whole video. I might have had to film it, it would run out of space and battery life, I'd have to take all the footage off, charge the battery, and then come back to what I was doing. But I will do that, okay, I promise. I've talked myself into it. I'm more into it now than I was 30 seconds ago. Okay, let's do this properly. By the way, I had to change my shirt because when I need to edit, if I'm wearing the same shirt for 3 different videos I filmed, I get confused trying to keep track of the editing process. And plus I just wanted to change it up and wear this shirt because I thought it was cool. What do you think? It's Nickelodeon. It's Rugrats and then other stuff. Cat and dog, I think. Now it's in a nice big mess on my floor. Perfect. Alright, first up, one of my favorite movies from 2017, Wind River. Taylor Sheridan is a fucking genius as a writer, as a director. Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen crush it. If you haven't seen this movie, see it because it's so good. If it was a person, I could not like respect it more and make love to it more than I have, because that movie is prime 10 out of 10 material there. Kingsman: The Golden Circle. Definitely a disappointing follow-up to the first one, because the first one was like really good, and then this one is kind of bad, kind of really good. So it's an imperfect balance, but I like it enough. Oh, I loved all this leaning forward I'm already doing. Apollo 13. I remember watching this in high school, and I was like, that's a legit movie. What's the meme? That was legitness. Yeah, it was. That was me about this movie. Tom Hanks in space with Kevin Bacon, right? Yeah, Kevin Bacon. And Bill Paxton. Fuck me up. That's a good one. Ed Wood. This was on sale. I've been very vocal about the fact I don't like Tim Burton, but I've heard this is one of his legitimately good ones. I feel like what this is going to be, and if it's not this, I might be disappointed. This is going to be like the disaster artist of its time. It's about Ed Wood, terrible filmmaker. So, if it can do that, I'll be happy. And speaking of the disaster artist, did I not grab that one? Did I? Yeah, I got the disaster artist, because this one also, did I not do a review? Okay, so late last year and most of this year, I've been really shitty at like watching a movie and then not reviewing it. But this one, like, I highly loved, and I feel like I should be playing catch up on all the reviews I didn't do, because I have a lot to say. This one, like, first off, you got the Franco brothers, and you can't tell them, like, you can't tell they're related, because the makeup is great, and they're so in character. Oh, hi, doggy. Ha 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 ha. What a story, Mark. Like, Franco is fantastic. Wrote and directed that. And it's not just making fun of him and it's like mean-spirited, it actually like has heart and makes you feel good inside while also mocking this fucking psycho. The Saw collection, guilty pleasures, and none of them are good movies, but I mean, I'm gonna watch them. Logan Lucky, the best Ocean's 11 sequel that we never got. I mean, if Soderbergh never did Ocean's 12 and 13 and we got this, we'd be fine. I mean, I pretend he didn't do the other two because I don't give a shit about them. Or at least 11. I think 13 was okay. I mean, you had Al Pacino. Hoo-ha, motherfucker. What was his good line from that? I don't want the labor pains, I just want the baby. Lady and the Tramp. There's a trend going on lately. Disney's taking movies out of the vault, and I buy them immediately because I have to have them, but then I don't watch them. I can't remember the last Disney movie I bought that I watched. I think it was Hercules and Tarzan. And since then I haven't watched any of them, because I think I've been letting my sadness build up, and now I'm at a place where my depression is perfectly primed, that the only way to fix it is to watch a bunch of my Disney movies. And I've been getting a lot of them. And honestly, they're foggy memories in my head at best, so I'm perfectly ready and willing to do Bambi, Lady and the Tramp, the other ones I got that I'm going to show you because they're right there, or it is right there. They are. There's two. It's hot. I'm melting. I can't even feel my brain. It came out like an hour ago. The Great Outdoors. It was on sale, 2 for $20. This is a great summer movie. It is wacky. It is 80s hijinks. John Candy and Dan Aykroyd. And also, I just realized this movie now has a slight sentimental value to me because last Thanksgiving, this is the last movie I watched before I went back to Red Deer and then got my virginity stolen from me. So that's interesting. I guess technically not, because we watched Shrek 2 right before, but that was this movie the day before, so whatever. Interesting tidbit. UFC 3. I didn't buy this, my brother lent it to me, and then he went out and bought a second copy for himself. Like, honestly, if he wanted, I would have brought this back to him in like 2 weeks. But I guess I'll like play it a lot more now because he has 2 copies, so that's cool. It's a fun game. It is. Yeah, I feel like they could touch up aspects of it. I really wish career mode wasn't so buggy. Like, I was undefeated in career mode, and there'd be dumb shit where it's like, he came off a hell of a loss to win this fight. It's like, no, I'm undefeated, like 20-0. Like, it's just buggy shit like that that they can't even comprehend what's happening in their own game. Star Wars The Last Jedi. If you don't like it, fuck off. This is a great movie. And I feel like that's factual. Like, I know opinions are opinions, but if you think this isn't even like a good movie, you are a weird, damaged person that probably hasn't had sex with a woman, probably hates women, and you hate Disney for doing sequels to your franchise that you apparently beloved, even though all you do is harass and harangue people every time they do anything with it. I mean, George Lucas was bullied to death by Star Wars quote-unquote fans. It's gatekeeping assholes is what it is. And then Daisy Ridley and Kelly Marie Tran. This is a quality movie. If you don't like what happens, too bad, because Disney's going to keep doing them, so either jump off the train now, or I don't know. What is the other option? If you don't leave Star Wars fandom because you hate everything they're doing, there's nothing else you can do. You can try to remake The Last Jedi. How's that going, by the way? But yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's my 4th favorite Star Wars movie. Empire, the original, Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Return of the Jedi, and then what? Would it be Rogue One, or would it be Solo, or would it be... I don't know. I'll figure that out another day, because I don't give a shit. Annihilation. This is one I'm gonna rewatch, because when I first saw it in theaters, I was so blown away. That was like, what, February? And I really wanted to review it, and then I was lazy, and I was busy. I think the beginning of this year was hectic, because it was very much wrapping up the first year at college, so it was like, you have to move soon, and you gotta like really focus hard in school, and I think I was sick, if I remember. That's usually, if I don't do videos for a while, I'm sick, or I'm super busy with like school, or I just don't want to do a video. Even though I did, like, that movie, I had nothing but like 2 hours worth of stuff to say about how great it is and I loved it, but I just couldn't sit down and turn on the camera. The Lion King, I feel like I talked about this before, but I could be wrong. I have no memories of this. I know, like, oh god. I remember like a few things, but honestly, this is one that I might not have even seen since I had the VHS of it and I was maybe 4 or 5 years old. Like this one, I think tonight I might have to watch this because The Circle of Life has come around and it's time for me to revisit that classic. Speaking of Disney classics, Peter Pan. I am familiar with one scene of this movie now because a meme just came out about it with the Disney firing James Gunn, and it's like they used a shot of this where it's the Indian chief. It's like, yeah, Disney did some racist ass shit, didn't they? And that's about my people too. So what the fuck? But I was literally, it was so weird. I was just thinking about this movie last week, like, when are they gonna take Peter Pan out of the vaults? Because I really want to revisit that one. And then I was in Walmart and I looked over at the movie section and I stopped. My heart skipped 16 beats and I saw this on the shelf. And I can't wait. It felt like Disney answered my prayers with that one, even though I did just criticize them for being racist shits in that movie. Speaking of Disney, but the better half of Disney, the Pixar branch. Pixar's Coco. This movie was perfect. I cried a lot. Can't wait to watch it again. The biggest thing with that movie is like none of my friends, my one friend Caleb saw it with me, but like my other friends did not see it, and I was like, you're fucking crazy. See this movie. You're gonna feel more alive than you've ever felt. You're gonna feel emotions. My Hispanic friend Ezzy, like, she went and saw Paddington with me. We'll talk about that in a second. But she went to see this. I'm like, listen, watch it. Do this. Watch the Grandma Coco scene. Fuck. And then when they did watch it, they were immediately like singing its praises. And I was like, I told you this months ago. Speaking of Paddington, we got both Paddington 1 and 2. This is the best franchise to come out in a long time, and I'll stand by that, because Paddington is pure at heart and it is nothing but pure unadulterated joy and happiness and kindness and marmalade. It's like Wes Anderson made a family movie and then they sprinkled all of the magic of England all over it. It's like Wes Anderson aesthetics in this just, yeah, I sung its praises. I did do a review for it. I love it to death. Paddington, he can have my soul because he's earned it. Liar Liar, this is Jim Carrey's best movie, hands down. Tell me a movie where he's funnier than this. Dumb and Dumber? Close, but not quite. Like, Liar Liar is Jim Carrey at the height of his powers, 110%, balls to the wall, physical, manic comedy, and he's genius in it, and I love that movie. It's endlessly quotable, and it's the best. I love it. I don't know if you can tell, I'm getting tired of talking. I'm out of oxygen. Casablanca, it was on special, and you know, after film history, we watched a lot of things in film and film history that, honestly, you know what I should have did is I should have reviewed them week by week as we went through, because we were watching like a Charlie Chaplin movie, The Gold Rush, and then like a noir film. Now it's too late to do it week to week as it happens, but I think I'm gonna take all those movies and I will review them. I'd probably have to rewatch some of them, and I'd skip a few of them because some of them fucking sucked. But we didn't watch Casablanca, but we talked about it a lot, so I'm gonna watch it now because rather than rent it, I bought the thing because it was cheap. Edward Scissorhands, like I said with Ed Wood, I don't like Tim Burton, but I do like Winona Ryder a lot, and I've heard this is a good one, so fuck it. It was real cheap too. This is one we watched in film class, Juno. I can't wait to watch this again. I thought I hated this movie. I legitimately thought I hated it. We watched it, we were on a field trip on a bus, and we started watching it, and the first 5 minutes where like Rainn Wilson is like, looks like that ego is Prego, and it's one doodle that can't be undid, home skillet. That scene, I was like, the fuck is this cringy ass fake dialogue? And we all like got mad and like, shut this shit off now. But then rewatching it in class after that scene, it's good. It is a quirky, silly movie, but it is so good. It is high quality. So I do actually love Juno. And I'm happy to say that because I had the opinion for the longest time of hating it. And in film classes, like, we're gonna watch Juno, I was like, I remember hating this, but okay, let's see what happens. And I was so pleasantly surprised. Secret Window, Stephen King. I feel like my mom likes this a lot more than I do, but we bonded over it because we've watched it a lot in the past, so I'm gonna watch this with her. You stole my story. Is the movie good? I feel like it's good from my memories. I don't know. That's one I have to revisit. But I like most, like even bad Stephen King adaptations sometimes are worth watching just because. But that one I feel like it's not as bad. It's no Shawshank Redemption. And I would hesitate to say if it's even a Pet Sematary level movie. But I want to watch it again, so I bought it. Plus, it was 2 for $20. Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. Fuck. This is the one where they introduced Fat Bastard and Mini-Me. But I rewatched the first one and I loved it, and me and my brother were like, let's watch the second one. We couldn't find it, and I found it, and so now I'm gonna watch it. But I'll never buy the third because I actually do legitimately hate that one. It's not funny at all. I mean, there's probably a few jokes, but I don't want to revisit it to find out, because even as a young child, as like a 12-year-old, I knew that movie sucked. So that means I'm gonna hate it twice as much now. Game of Thrones Season 3. I think I borrowed that from my mom. So, yeah, I need to get into that. What was it? It was like, winter had come in 2017, and I was like, winter's coming. It's the perfect time. Starting Game of Thrones. And I breezed through Season 1, and then I just didn't have any of the other seasons, so I didn't continue. And then I bought Season 2, and I'm going to start that. I don't know. I think I'll wait until winter comes this fall, and then I'll like do the rest of the show. That's my plan, because it just feels right. The Shape of Water, Oscar-winning film. I just rewatched this. Holds up. Michael Shannon's totally fucking creepy. I like it. I like it a lot. It's a weird, strange movie, but damn, it's good. This is a good movie. This one though. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. I watched this twice in theaters, and then I've watched it like 2 or 3 times now that it's on Blu-ray. I need to review that one. That is one that, again, I fully intended to review it, and then like I let a little bit of too much time slip through my fingers, so I saw it a second time in theaters. Then it kept happening where I'd watch it, and then too much time would pass. I'm gonna watch again and review it, because that one, I honestly, as much as I like Shape of Water, I think 3 Billboards probably should have won Best Picture or Best Director, and I stand by that. It did win several Oscars for performances, which were highly, highly, highly deserved. Alright, let's do some Marvel movies here. Let's start with 2 that I don't really like, but I bought them for reasons. Infinity War was coming out, and I did a full marathon over the course of a couple weeks. So I bought Iron Man 2 against all my judgments, because I don't like this movie. And it is half a good movie, I'll give it that. But once that second half starts, Nick Fury shows up and they shut Iron Man shit down, the movie goes off the rails and it never recovers. And it has a horrible ending, and they waste Sam Rockwell. Like, there's so many problems with that movie. Captain America the First Avenger, I was pleasantly surprised upon revisiting this that I liked it more than I remembered. But this one is another one that really falls apart. The first half is so good at establishing this great hero and like the time period. It's so believable that it's like the 40s. But then Red Skull is a piss poor villain that does jack shit throughout the movie. Cap is really cool, and I love the score. Alan Silvestri's score is great. In fact, back when I lived out of college, I would put on my really tight Captain America shirt, go running around the block listening to that soundtrack. Felt like I was running into World War II battle. It was epic. But then at a certain point in the movie, it's like, alright, the action is now just montages. There's not really an action scene as much as just brief montages. Red Skull does jack shit. He's useless. He's a terrible villain. And then the movie just kind of ends. And it's really disappointing. Like, again, that one and Iron Man 2 are half of a good movie. Black Panther, fucking great game changer movie. Fantastic. Killmonger is the best Marvel villain besides Thanos. And it is great. Could be a little better. I think upon revisiting, I was like, you know what? Maybe that's not an A+. Maybe it's an A. But this one, I should have given it an A+ at the time. Thor Ragnarok is the funniest Marvel movie. It's a great comedy. I should give Cate Blanchett more credit as a villain. Like, she's got a good villain backstory. Even if at the end of the day, tongue-tied, at the end of the day, she's not the best villain, but I feel like they definitely had potential that they were working with. And the thing is, like, the villain feels like very in the background because it's a comedy, and the comedy in this is the best ever. I don't think they'll ever have a funnier Marvel movie, actually. Hi, I'm Korg, kind of the leader around here. I'm made of rock, no need to be worried unless you're made of scissors. That's a little rock, paper, scissors joke for you. Almost done, almost done. I feel like I've done this before and talked about it, but Mother? I don't think I've watched this since I saw it in theaters, and I feel like this is one I bought full and well knowing, like, this is gonna sit on the shelf for a long time. Maybe once a year, once every few years, I'll come back to it and treat myself to it, because it's like a very intellectually strange, odd, artistic movie that you don't want to watch all the time, but definitely I will want to go back to that from time to time, because it's a good movie. I don't care what anyone said. Lady Bird, another great one. This was fantastic. I feel like it maybe was a little bit overloved and overhyped when it came to award season and all that, but it's a damn good coming-of-age movie. Saoirse Ronan is great. My sister just graduated high school and she's going into college, and I was like, watch this movie. I mean, if it doesn't directly apply to your life and all, that's okay, but I feel like you can learn some lessons and keep some things in mind for when you're coming of age at this time. And I think she agreed with me after watching it, so there's that. Last three. Oh boy. Oh boy. We're almost done. We got A Quiet Place. I got the Steelbook because, I mean, that scratch mark alone just excited me. I was like, yeah, why not? Sometimes a Steelbook, you just say yes. And A Quiet Place, John Krasinski, love him. Him and Emily Blunt both fantastic. And the kid actors and everything. I reviewed it. Check it out. Blade Runner, I'm not a big fan of this movie. I've only seen it the one time. This was $8. I'll come back to it and try appreciate it more. What I've heard about the movie is after you watch it like 30 times, you'll like it. And I think it might take 30 times. However, the sequel, this movie I adore at first watch. Almost a 3-hour movie, riveted every second of it. Absolutely adore it. I want to be Ryan Gosling in this movie. Why? Because every time Ryan Gosling does a movie, I want to be him. He's just these cool guys with cool jackets and this like emotionally dead personalities that he's closed off. He's very introverted in a very cool, interesting way, and it's just, I want to be him. I feel like after seeing Drive, I just slowly started trying to morph my personality and persona into that guy, and I don't know. Maybe, at least in like, publicly, I don't know about like, when I do YouTube videos, they're like, oh, there's Ryan Gosling. No, but like a quiet weirdo that like smashes people's head in with a hammer in an elevator, like, I'm working on it. And also the soundtrack for Blade Runner, like, I love just driving around, especially if it rains, it's immediately like, Blade Runner soundtrack, it feels right. So, I still need to find his jacket. If I can find it for a decent price, that would be cool. Or, I don't know. People would see me in public like, look at that jackass, what kind of fucking jacket is that? But I'd be like listening to the soundtrack like, no, I'm Officer K, I'm a replicant, this is cool. But yeah, there we go, that was the whole Blu-ray collection video. It felt very rambly. Like I said, it's hot, I'm melting, it's the middle of summer, it is hot as balls, and it's just, this house has no AC, but I had to do this video, and it felt good to finally do it. I feel like a weight's been lifted off my chest now just to do the other 60 movie reviews I've put off. But let me show you something. Let me just take this off the tripod. Look at that. Okay, now I'm going to attempt to pick them all up, and this attempt is not going to work by any means. It's already failing. It's not even off the floor yet. The important thing is I tried. But yeah, there's the Blu-ray collection. Look at it. Look at all epic. I hope you guys appreciate this. To sort of tide you over until I do the entire collection video, and in a little while still, I'm going to try, like the latest, I will be filming it around Christmas. I'm planning on just taking, obviously a break from school, and then I'll take a break from work, go home for like 2 weeks. I'll film that video, die, hibernate, come back to life with a mullet and a black suit like Superman, and then we'll be good. So there's that. But yeah, comment below, tell me what you thought of the video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.